Welcome back. If you're a basketball fan, you'll certainly know which country currently boasts the World Championship title. If not, you might have guessed the United States, maybe Serbia, Argentina. But you'd be wrong, because Spain is the new #1 in the game. And as Al Jazeera's Kerry Brown reports, Spanish players are in big demand in the world's best league, the NBA.
Basketball is considered a sport dominated by the North Americans. Yet the last World Championship final boasted 2 European sides. Greece the favourites after knocking the US out in the last 4, while Spain were forced to go into the final without their top player. NBA All-Star Pau Gasol broke his foot in the semi-final against Argentina. Spain, however, were quick to prove they do not rely on the talents of one man alone. Jorge Garbajosa and Juan Carlos Navarro inspiring their side, recording 20 points apiece to sweep aside Greece 70-47.
It's a day to remember for the rest of my life, a historic day. I always joke with Pau that he didn't win the World Championships because he wasn't in the final, so he didn't win. When you win it, in the moment, you don't realize what you've done. And when you return to Spain and see all the people who watched and cried with us and laughed with us, all the emotion of the day, it's a great day.
A great day, but this was no overnight success. In Spain, football is king. But at the 1992 Olympics in Barcelona, it was basketball that made the headlines. The Dream Team, led by Irvin Magic Johnson, Larry Bird and Michael Jordan, catching the imagination of a generation.
The Dream Team had an influence on everyone. They were a team of stars that knew where they were going and what they wanted, and above all, they were winners. And Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan have been my idols since I was young.
Joan Montes coached Barcelona in the late 1990s and gave both Navarro and Gasol their first team debuts. He believes the Dream Team helped push Spanish basketball into the professional era.
In that moment, when the Dream Team came over, everybody bought tickets to see them, more than the Spanish team. People started talking about basketball. It was good for the children to see the basketball games. Basketball gained a following, and that pushed the sport forward.
4 of the world champions now play in the NBA. Jose Calderon and Jorge Garbajosa are key players for the Toronto Raptors. Garbajosa, a senior international, witnessed at first hand the rise of one crop of players dubbed the Golden Generation.
There are a generation of players like Calderon, Navarro, Felipe Reyes, who won the Junior World Championship. And after this, I mean, Spain showed to everybody that he can beat the best teams in the world. And now with help of other players like Carlos Jimenez or me, which are a little bit older, I think we got a very good team. When we play with the national team, all the country follow us, everybody is watching our games, and this is really important for us, and we feel very proud of all of this.
Garbajosa's Raptors teammate Chris Bosh was a member of the US team who had to settle for bronze at the World Championships. The all-star power forward admits his team were aware of the threat Spain posed before the championship.
I knew they had a good team from the get-go, you know, just watching them since around like 2002. Yeah, they had Pau Gasol, you know, that always helps, and we knew they were one of the favorites coming into the Worlds, and you know, I'm sure they're going to be a favorite in the Olympics coming up too.
Like Garbajosa, both Juan Carlos Navarro and Fran Vasquez were drafted by the NBA. But they caused shock, even outrage in the US, by deciding to remain with their Spanish club, FC Barcelona. Vasquez, who was drafted by the NBA's Orlando Magic, stayed in Spain for personal reasons, but believes some players fear failure in America.
The NBA is a very important league, but players go there and see a totally different style of basketball, and they fear that they can't make it, so they stay here, as part of the second best league in the world, where everything is familiar.
Barcelona's basketball team boasts 2 of the major names in Spanish basketball, but with their NBA counterparts being paid almost 2/3 more, the question is, how long can they realistically stay in this team?
Since Pau went over to the NBA, he's been trying to get me over there, telling me that I can play in the NBA. Last year I played well in the Spanish league. I was the MVP. But before then, I wasn't sure of going over there. Now I feel I'm a much better, more mature player.
Navarro features alongside football superstar Ronaldinho to promote Barcelona's club brand, but claims that basketball is starting to compete with football in Spain appears wide of the mark.
Football here it's very important, and even if basketball now it's increasing, I don't think that it will be like football. It's quite difficult.
I like more basketball, but it's not like football.
One visiting American college basketball player expected the sport to have a higher profile.
I thought I was actually going to see it more because I've heard that Spain is more interested in basketball than some other European countries, that I haven't seen it a lot. I mean, you'll see the basketball courts on the street and people are playing soccer on them.
Spanish basketball has been criticised for lacking the slam dunk showmanship of the NBA. Navarro admits the Europeans' attachment to fundamental team play is less spectacular.
Physically, they're incredible. They do things there that over here we say, how can they jump like that? How can they do those things? But sometimes it's not just about that. There are times when you have to play a more tactical game and think much more inside the court. And I think we've grown a lot and really know how to play now. There are players in the EuroLeague who are really brilliant like that. Not me though, as I'm not a good jumper.
In fact, it was Spain's defensive teamwork and tactical rotations that led to World Championship success. In contrast, the American national team has been criticised in recent years for focusing its play around the individual exploits of a few star players, a strategy that no longer guarantees them international success. NBA scouts certainly don't appear to be turned off by Spain's conservative play.
We've had more and more scouts coming to see us in the Spanish Cup. People follow our progress in the playoffs and the regular league because they know there are good players here as well.
Spain's golden generation is steadily and perhaps inevitably being drafted into the NBA, but their legacy is expected to last long after their departure. Carrie Brown, Al Jazeera, Barcelona.
Certainly a great basketball nation. On to cricket now, and the West Indies are in England this week and looking to bounce back from an embarrassing exit from last month's World Cup. The team has also lost 8 of its last 9 test matches, and critics say Caribbean cricket is currently in a mess. One of those speaking out is former West Indies player Joel Garner. He's calling for a radical change in the administration of the game. Garner was the fast-bowling spearhead of what many experts claim was the greatest team of all time in the late 70s and early 80s, and he spoke recently to Al Jazeera's Guy McCree.
Nowadays, of course, the West Indies team isn't anywhere near as dominant as it was when you played in the 70s and 80s, and most people would say it's in a state of continuing decline. Why do you think that is?
There are quite a few factors when you look at West Indies cricket. No money is spent in West Indies cricket on development. All the money is being spent at administrative level. Yes, we have players with a lot of talent, yes, a lot of ability, but at the end of the day, talent without discipline or without developing the talent is never going to get you anywhere.
Now, of course, Brian Lara was captain on 3 separate occasions of those teams that haven't been doing so well. He's retired now. What do you make of his 3 reigns as captain?
He has the worst record as a captain. As a player in all of the teams that he's playing, he's a brilliant player, yes, but as a captain, no. And I don't think they have to assess it. I think that they've made a mistake by bringing him back as captain for a third time, like for a second time even.
Let's have a little look at the future of the West Indies team now. Who do you see as the players who can start to fill that void and possibly restore the West Indies team to something of its former glories?
I think that we missed the boat to a certain extent, because I thought that while the World Cup was going on, we should have had another 15 or 16 players on the fringe being trained and being, you know, prepared for England. I've said it before, on all the occasions that Brian Lara was injured or he never played for the West Indies, they were competitive. So, you know, I don't have any doubt in my mind that the West Indies team that is going to England will be competitive. I think it is going to be competitive.
With Lara gone, do you see Ramnaresh Sarwan, for example, as a key player in trying to turn the West Indies' fortunes around?
We were wrong. Ramnaresh, when he was a young player, you know, I was a selected time when they wanted to push him. I said, no, I think that until he has shown the ability to score hundreds at first class level, I don't think you should just pick players on just promise. And I feel like if he has to do the job, I would give him the necessary support to do the job. I would not just say, well, we're going to appoint Sarwan as captain and leave it like that. Sarwan as captain, yes, but at the same time, you have to give him the different support systems, whether it be a strong manager, trainer, whatever. I think that the support systems must be there.
You've mentioned discipline or indiscipline is a big part of why the West Indies perhaps aren't performing as well as they could at the moment. Do you think this current West Indies squad are professional enough?
Nope. In a word, no. It is shown by the actions, by the reports that have been written, by the way how. Look, Australia is a team that is at the top of the world. And Australia won a game, and you could see them, their players running, doing miles, putting in the work, trying to get better. We're losing cricket games and we're getting days off. Is that professionalism? Until we get serious, I think that the next thing we got is performance-related pay. If that is the way how they want to be, if they want to be the professional cricketers, bring performance-related pay to the table. Then we will see who's professional and who isn't.
Well, some interestingly candid and harsh analysis for sure of the current state of West Indian cricket by one of the all-time greats. That's all the time we have for this edition of Sports World. I'm Brendan Connor. Thanks for watching once again, and stay with Al Jazeera.